the president begged me publicly to come and serve in his government. I had my plans, and I told President Tinubu from day one, when he asked me to support him, I said I would, but I don't want anything, okay? Because politics in Nigeria is always about what do I get for giving you support. I'm not in politics for that reason. I'm not in politics to get anything. I have a surname, I'm a self-made man, I have made my money before coming into public office. I don't need anything. After 8 years in Kaduna, I was nearly burnt out. I was struggling for 8 years, and I wanted to take a break, and I had my private plans. The president publicly appealed to me to put my plans on hold, and through 2 months of negotiation, we finally agreed that he would nominate me as minister, and there were certain conditions I attached to that. I think along the line, either the president changed his mind or something else, because please don't believe the story that the National Assembly rejected me. The National Assembly had nothing to do with this. The president didn't want me in his cabinet. He changed his mind. Whatever it is, frankly, I don't care. And I told him, and I moved on. And since I moved on, I've not said a word. I've not granted any interview. I've not commented on the government. But it is within my rights as a founding member of the APC, as one of the 34 people that signed the INEC form that got the party registered. It is within my rights to ask, why is my party not functioning?
Indeed.
And that's all. And so, you know, I don't know if I've answered your question, but...
Well, to some extent you have, but I'm going to press you a little in the Senate. You're saying that the president decided that you were no longer going to be in his cabinet.
I believe that. I believe he changed his mind.
What makes you believe that?
What security? What was the security issue? I have been a governor for 8 years in one of the most difficult states in the country. Okay? I have been minister 20 years earlier. I've been in public life in the last 25, 26 years. What is the security issue? Where is the report? What about other ministers far less qualified, far less experienced, with huge controversies around them that scaled through because the president made a call? So please leave that aside. I don't want to focus too much on that.
Right.
The president is a human being. He is entitled to change his mind. And it's not an issue. And it is a job I didn't want in the first place. So the slightest opportunity I had, the security thing was a good thing for me because it enabled me to say, Mr. President, I'm gone. And but I went on with my life. Now, since then, has anyone released that report? What is the security issue? What is this? What is that? Leave that. The only reason why I'm talking about this, Charles, is because anytime I make any comment about how the party is running or not running, or I visit a friend of mine, Tinubu's hacks go on, oh, it's because he didn't get a ministerial nomination. Guys, I was minister 20 years ago, all right, in my 40s, and I told Tinubu I did not want to be minister. I was not interested. He appealed to me, begged me, and gave me a challenge. What was the challenge? Nobody has sorted out electricity. No president has defeated the electricity mafia. You and I can work to defeat it. It was the challenge that made me accept. All right? Now, I had an opportunity to serve my country, and the person that gave me the opportunity changed his mind. It's okay. And I've moved on with my life.
But I mean, would you be in politics for someone else? Because, I mean, in 2023, you were in politics for President Tinubu. You supported him. Obviously, I mean, you were governor of Kaduna State, but I mean, you supported his presidential bid. And I'm wondering whether this time around in 2027, obviously your support is, I would imagine, quite valuable. I mean,
they don't think so.
Would you support Atiku Abubakar, for instance, for president in 2027? Or would you retain your support for President Tinubu's second term?
Okay, let me correct some of your assumptions.
Right.
In 2023, the 2023 election cycle, personally, I can tell you, I was indifferent about candidates. Okay? I was indifferent who became the presidential candidate of the APC. What I was determined will not happen is for a northerner to emerge as the presidential candidate of the APC, based on the understanding that I know we had in 2013 when we formed the APC, that after 8 years of Buhari's rule, power will go to the south. I was on holiday in Dubai when I realized that this was what was going on. Some elements around the president wanted a northerner to succeed the president. I came back. Governor Zulum called me and said, this is what is happening. I came back. We worked together as northern governors to truncate that. That was the only thing that I cared about in the 2023 election cycle. In the APC, it must be a southerner. Now, who the southerners give us is up to the southerners. All right? That was my position. Now, when President Tinubu emerged as the candidate of my party, he now became the candidate of my party, and I am duty-bound to do my best to ensure he's elected. For me, the hierarchy of commitment is God, country, party.
Yeah, but he's president now, and he's going for a second term, probably.
He's going for
support him in 2027?
I don't know. I will evaluate the situation at the time, and I will consult widely, because it's not, when I supported President Tinubu before the primaries, it was a decision that we took, the leaders of the APC took in Kaduna. Who would we support? Okay, we've succeeded in ensuring that power goes to the south, okay? And we know that all the northern candidates will go nowhere. Yahya Bello, Ahmed Long, we knew, all right? But among the southerners, who do we support? They know those that are my friends. Tinubu was not my friend. I was never close to him. But the consensus of the APC in Kaduna was that we should support Bola Tinubu because he is the one that is more likely to win. Because politicians make these calculations. All right? And I said, fine. You are the delegates. I was not a delegate. Go and vote for him if that's what you do. But before you do, the night of the convention, I will go and ask President Buhari, who does he want? Because APC Kaduna is Buhari's APC. It's not APC Katsina. Buhari lives more in Kaduna than Katsina. So I went to President Buhari that night. I said, the delegates are waiting for your final word, who to vote for. And he said, Malam, go and tell the Kaduna delegates from me to vote their conscience. And I went and said, go and vote your conscience. And I left the convention ground. So I want to put things in perspective so that you understand. Now, once Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the candidate of my party, I'm a loyal party man. I care about the party. I'm not, for me, the party is not a platform. It's not something to eat from. It is a commitment to certain values. And I did my best to ensure that President Tinubu won the election. Now, in 2027, I'm going to consult the same people. We're going to take the same decision, which candidate to support and in which party.
But do you think, because you mentioned here that you were obviously driven by certain principles, one of them being that the presidency had to go to the south. Irrespective of who emerged as the person, it had to be a southerner. I mean, by that same token, are you going to support a southern president in 2027?
I cannot say that now.
No, but
okay. No, let me explain.
Following from the logic of your sort of
I'm
argument.
in a different position now.
Right.
In 2023, I was a governor. I was a state governor. And whatever decision we took must reflect the values of Ahmadu Bello, Aminu Kano, Sakashmi Ibrahim, J.S. Taka, our leaders in the north that had a handshake across the Niger with our southern brothers and built trust. That was the duty imposed on me as a governor. I was not an ordinary person. I was the representative of late Ahmadu Bello, Aminu Kano, and so on. These were the values we were pursuing. It was not about personal interest. Now I'm a private citizen, okay? Now I'm not sure I will be in the APC in 2027. So I cannot answer that question. As a private citizen, I can afford to be reckless and say, you know what? We gave the Southerners their chance. They gave us Tinubu. Has he done well? If he hasn't done well by 2027, let's vote him out, okay? I would prefer that a Southerner succeeds Tinubu. But at the end of the day, in the party that I would be, whether it is APC or any other party, the calculation has to be who will win. And as I told you earlier, in Kaduna, when we looked at all the southern aspirants, our caucus said, look, Tinubu has the best chance of winning. Our party must win. Whatever the baggage he comes with, let's manage it after we win. It is the same way these decisions are taken. Now, in 2027, I will not be a governor. So I will not have the sort of clout that I had in 2023. But I'm just explaining this so that people understand that in those smoke-filled rooms where these political decisions are taken, hard political mathematics takes place in which you want to win. And the person that wins is the one that you go for. It doesn't matter where he comes from.
Nigerian public, would you be in politics for someone else? Because, I mean, in 2023, you were in politics for President Tinubu, Governor Uba Sani.
Look, Uba Sani has been my friend for many, many years. But he is not my friend anymore. Because for me, the word friendship is a very important concept. God gave us our relatives. He chose our relatives for us. We have no choice. But thank God we can choose our friends. And for me, a friend is someone that has some fidelity to some ethical and moral standards and will be there for you when you need him, not when there is time to party or enjoy. And I try to live that. Okay? And those that are my friends know that I will be there for them when they need me, and I will rise and defend them. That's what I call friend. Uba Sani is not my friend. Nuribadu is not my friend. They were my friends at some point, but not anymore. Okay? As to what is happening in Kaduna, I don't comment on any job that I walked away from. I left BPE 22 years ago. I only went there to interview the DG for my PhD something, and then they came and interviewed me when they were doing a review of the privatization program. Since I left the FCT, I never went back there until my former classmate in Barewa, Mohammed Bello, became minister and wanted to see me repeatedly, so I decided to drive into his office. I don't comment with what I'm done with. So I won't comment about Kaduna. Those that say I am relevant or not relevant in Kaduna, I don't comment on that. Let us wait. In 2027, we will see who is relevant and who is not.
Well, under his watch, Governor, sit where you're sitting, from the North, the Northern League, different people from the North who express dissatisfaction with President Tinubu, particularly over appointments. What is your position on that?
I agree with them. I think that President Tinubu's appointments are quite imbalanced. But unlike others that think, oh, the appointments are skewed towards Southwest, no. Please, don't blame the Southwest for what one individual is doing. Okay? As a Northerner and someone that lived half of his life under military rule, we have suffered that. The military takes power, they do things, the head of state is a Northerner, he messes up, every Northerner is blamed. No. Yorubas are very honorable people. Okay? But there is a difference even in Yoruba land between an Omoluabi, okay, who is the ideal Yoruba person with morals and character, and an area boy. Okay? So I want people to stop saying it's Southwest. Look, President Tinubu is appointing his own boys. Not because they are Yoruba, but because they are his own boys. And most of the appointments do not even reasonably cover the Southwest. Okay, so people should stop confusing the two. The appointments are not balanced. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Right.
You cannot argue that. But it's not a Yoruba thing. Please don't punish the Yorubas as you have been punishing Northerners for the sins of the military. Okay? Let's focus on individuals and hold them accountable. President Tinubu needs to do something about that. It's still not too late. He can correct it. But there is palpable anger in the North, and all the people around him, all those telling him that everything is quiet, they cannot go to the north and say vote for APC or vote for Tinubu today. But it's 2 years to the elections. It's not too late to correct things. And he knows I have passed this message through many of those close to him. I hope they have the guts to tell him.
Right. That we all had was that you were nominated for a ministerial position,
Yes.
but that under serious scrutiny from the National Assembly, you failed to make the grade for security reasons. But you're saying that's not what turned the tide of your support, that failure to win affirmation.
For the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be held as a terrorist.
IPOB is not a terrorist, neither is their leader a terrorist. Because when you name a group or organization, whatever you may call it, a terrorist, that means it is the leader that is the terrorist, the one that organized it. And if you take a look at the whole thing, what is playing now, you discover that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist and he has never participated in anyone. And it can never be. And let me tell you, in case you forget, do you know currently now that the British are giving IPOB members asylum? And if they can openly, this is the second time they are doing that, if they can openly give IPOB asylum, definitely we are not terrorists. Because a country like a British can never welcome terrorist group in their country.
So what do you think make the Northern Coalition group to make that very ugly statement?
This statement.
They even mentioned Peter Obi.
Yes, because anybody that said, they said anybody asking for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When they say it, don't you see all those Fulani imposed governors?
Okay, does it
in
mean
the
that
east? Those ones are they asking for the Fulani?
That also demanded for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are they also a terrorist?
I am coming, my brother.
The Honest Ndibo, are they also a terrorist?
I don't know.
The Benjamin
Kalu, is he a terrorist? I don't understand. So the thing remains, it is not their fault, but it is the fault of Ohaneze, who's supposed to stand to speak for their people. They are there collecting bribe, supporting evil. It is not their fault. It is the fault of the governors in the east, who's supposed to stand up to do the needful. But they are there being fooled. I don't blame them. That's why they come out to say Obi. Is there any northern person, the Fulani person, that is more educated than Peter Obi? Is there any northern person that is more enlightened than any other person in the eastern region? One stupid elder Fulani man said that it is the poor Igbos that are asking for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. And I asked him, I replied to him yesterday, now, Oga, you are a fool. How many Igbo children do you see that goes out and beg for food? How many of their children did you see on the streets of Nigeria begging for survival, begging for food? You say they are poor. You that is rich, your children is outside begging for food. Me and you, who better? And you open your dirty mouth. I don't know whether you don't see all these Fulani teeth. They know they brush mouth. The only person where their house go know how to do clean up. They look at them, see, then just watch them. You understand? You have the audacity to talk when I'm talking. You have audacity to refer me. Do you know the meaning of terrorist? Do you know the meaning of terrorist? Because they are allowed in this country, you that is a total stranger, then you have the guts to call me a terrorist. You have the guts to call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. Who gave you the impetus to do that? Because Nigeria is a country that have admitted as a terrorist country and they welcome terrorists. That is why you people are messing up. Because if it is a country, look at what has happened against C.D.S. Musa and his cabinet. Don't you see the mess? They have messed them up because of what? This kind of things that is going on in the country. You cannot invite somebody like C.D.S. Musa and turn him